в українському кризовому медіа.
Esteemed colleagues, we are glad to greet you in Ukrainian Crisis Media Center. Colonel Lysenko from the Presidential Administration. The speaker on ATO is our guest, as usual. Good morning, good afternoon, dear colleagues. The main events in the ATO area. As of yesterday at Mariupol, the adversary concentrated large caliber artillery at the engagement line, and they are actively using. Usually provocations are conducted at night time when the surveillance is complicated. Thus yesterday, illicit military information started on the artillery fire at our positions at Shirokino and Starognativka. Fire also was issued from Sakhanka, where they concentrated cannons at 120mm mortars of the adversary, and from Novolaspa, where they deployed the self-propelled artillery mounting and tanks. At Donetsk, the situation is unchanged. The combats between Marinka and Andriy are incessant, and after the sunset, the illicit military information starts active utilization of the prohibited arms deployed along all the front line, and that includes the residential areas of Donetsk. As a result of the large caliber fire, communities 5 to 8 kilometers away from the front line come under such fire. At Horlivka, the situation remains relatively stable. Provocations are odd, but the use of tanks by illicit military information points to concentration of the force in that area. At Luhansk, there was an engagement between the anti-terrorist operation forces and the subversive intelligence group, reconnaissance group of 5 people. The adversary had to retreat, and they have also evening mortar shelling at Stanitsa Luhansk, pointed at the residential areas. As a result of that, there's no electricity, communication, water supply. 2 private houses were destroyed and 1 woman was killed. Yesterday, 8 flights of the adversary drones were registered, and yesterday, in the course of active combat, we had no people killed, but 5 were wounded. And continued drilling of the qualified cadre for the Ukrainian armed forces continues in Ivan Chernyhivsky University of the Ministry of Defense. We had the gradation of the operation strategic and operation tactic level cadets as graduates, masters of military management, among them 78 participants of ATO. So also the Ministry of Defense, Stepan Poltorak, decorated families of volunteers, Volodymyr Kochetkov, Sukach, Yuri Krichov. We would like to remind you that there's people with a nickname Chewbacca and Mohawk were killed last winter. They were involved in air surveillance and saved many lives by that. Sappers of the National Guard practiced in fine-tuned work with explosives. So the experienced fighters passed on the experience of their younger comrades. It's very important to have the feel of this dangerous business. The experts try different explosive techniques, electric, fiery, and with the detonating cords. The citizen of Mykolaiv that was originally born in Vladivostok frequented separatist internet resources and viewed Russian TV channels. Under the influence of the anti-Ukrainian propaganda, he decided to join the forces of so-called Donetsk People's Republic units, and after his drilling under the guidance of instructors from the Russian Federation, he was posted at the road post of militants at Shirokino. He had a concussion after one of the shelling, and then decided to desert and give himself up to the Ukrainian forces. Now you can see his confession. I would like to these people who already understood that the army of so-called Donetsk People's Republics and Republican Luhansk People's Republic are fighting against their brothers. People say farewell to the arms, come back home, you are deceived. We need united Ukraine, and Donetsk and Luhansk should be included, and that come back to your families, to your wives and children. We have had many people perished, children, elderly people, civilians in this war. Please cease the fighting and come back. All my relatives, all my friends, all the mothers of Ukraine, I'm addressing you and asking you to forgive me for what I did, and to all the people in the territory of Ukraine who are still dreaming of the Russian universe, so-called. Please abandon this idea. Live in Ukraine, a free and European Ukraine, and everything will be fine with you. And now we would like to remind to those who are still hesitant that under Article 258.3 of the Criminal Code of Ukraine, these people who voluntarily report to the enforcement bodies on the terrorist activities, provided some evidence for investigation and deterrence, can be left without any criminal prosecution. An informer of the Donetsk People's Republic's people with the person with the criminal record was gathering intelligence on the places of deployment of the Ukrainian units. He also pointed to curators of the spy network. Those were highly positioned militants called Sido and Opert. According to his intelligence, the main mission of networks was to be involved in terrorist attacks, diversions, and participation in combats against the Ukrainian forces on the order of the Russian special services. As a result of a counterintelligence operation, the Ukrainian police and bodyguards searched a flat, and there was a basement with lots of ammunition, 25 kilos of Protel 1.5 plastides, 5 artillery shells, 6 anti-tank mines, 18 anti-tank shells. The person is still to be identified. Even a bigger arsenal was found at Chester. That was a hideout in a private house. And there we had a big number of shells, the launchers for anti-tank launchers, grenade launchers, shells for them, grenades F1 and RGO, and a large caliber machine gun. And there was a radio direction fighting unit and some belongings, 2 cars and 2 trucks. That all belonged to somebody called Baron, and he was apprehended 3 years ago. The humanitarian aid goes through Zaitsevo at the main road, Artemis-Holovka. 1 truck passed with 15 tons of food and hygiene products for the Donetsk Oblast. That was provided by the International Committee of the Red Cross. That concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, please proceed. The 5th channel, you mentioned that there was concentration of forces at Horlivka. How much and what kind of arms are registered there? According to our intelligence, practically all the imaginable means that are utilized by the adversary. starting with the anti-aircraft units, ZU-22, with and also the Volify units and tanks are found in that area, and practically in all the areas such arsenals are made available. From time to time they redeploy the vehicles for and units for attacks at specific points. The Russian mercenaries or the Russian soldiers, are they concentrated anywhere? The point is that about 8,000 Russian troopers are in the territory of the occupied part of Donbass, but the places of deployment change all the time. They're involved in continuous training, and they guide the military operations involved in command and control, and also control the high precision weapons like the anti-aircraft units. If there are no further questions, we would like to thank you for the briefing. Tomorrow at the same time we will get together here. Thank you very much.